Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to episode number 191 of the Unknown Games Podcast. I'm your host, Adrian, and joining with me, as always, my co-host, Alex. What's up, man? How's it going?
Yo, it's good.
My man gave himself a golf clap. That is, everyone should walk around with that soundbite, just for those moments.
We should use the golf clap more often.
But yeah, it's been a pretty good week this week. We're starting out on Monday as always, and of course we can't say thanks enough for listening. And if that sounds like I'm ending the show, thanks for listening. Wow.
All right, you see you next week.
There we
Same
go.
Time. Yeah,
that happened again. All right, everybody, we're gone for the day. But no, thanks for joining us. If you're watching on YouTube, thanks so much for watching there. If you're watching on Spotify or any of those services, thank you so much. Go ahead, leave a like, and subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends and family about us, whoever might like video games or like things in Japan. We talk about both of those things. So today we're going to be talking about the state of play that Sony had last week, and there was a couple things that we both kind of found interesting in the show, and we'll go over those. And Ehe is no longer with us. No, Ehe is working right now. He's busy.
Is he?
He's busy. He's almost done with Yakuza. He said he'll be done this weekend.
Shit, he's been binging the fuck out of it, and I guess, yeah.
He will have beat it, I guess, like what, in a week? 2 weeks? A week?
That's not bad. I mean, if you're playing, let's say like 5 hours a day, 5 times, how many? 5 times 14. Right? That seems like reasonable. If you're just doing the story, some side stuff, that seems like, yeah, that makes sense to me.
I mean, he does. He goes hard into the paint in the games, man. He does finish them quicker than anyone I know. Even at my
5
age,
times. 5 times 15 is 70 hours. So yeah, there you go.
So yeah, we'll be talking about that. Alex had some Granblue Fantasy Relink. There we go. Some thoughts and impressions about that since he's kind of finished up the game. And then I've also got some of the Silent Hill, the short message thoughts as well. So without any further ado, let's go ahead, hop into it. First up, I mean, Helldivers and the whole state of play. Actually, no, state of play happened. It went over a couple of things. Stellar Blade was the headliner along with Rise of Ronin. And outside of that, we didn't have any other clue what was going to be there other than what may have leaked, which I think was just like the Kojima Death Stranding 2. We'll have a Death Stranding 2 trailer. I think that was pretty much it. Now, for us, it's like 7 a.m. and most of the time we don't watch it live. We just get up and catch what happens.
Yeah, I just
afterwards.
I just wake up and then I I go to Reddit actually, and I look at like the what's it called? I can't think of English. Sorry, I was gonna say like you know what I mean? The thread, the big thread.
Oh my gosh,
the mega thread. Yeah,
the thread.
The thread for it. Yeah. So I just go to Reddit, check that out, and then from there I'm like, oh, cool. What were the trailers? And like, I watch the trailers I want to watch the most. So
that's the best way. I mean, I think only Nintendo really does it at our time. Like Nintendo's like 10:30.
Yeah, Nintendo does it at like 11 p.m. for us usually.
Yeah, 11 p.m. So we can always watch them. Xbox is always like 2, 3, 4 in the morning. It's even earlier. Like that junk is crazy.
I used to, like when I was still teaching English and my schedule was like really weird. I was actually awake for all of these game conferences or like Apple announcements or whatever. I'd actually be awake for them, so I would watch them and then go to sleep. But now I kind of have more of a normal work schedule. I'm like, I'm not just staying up. I'm going to bed.
It's not feasible to stay up that late and consecutively do work the next day nicely. You know what I mean? Like at an efficient pace.
Even if I didn't work the next day, I think I kind of want to sleep. So
yeah, no joke. Sleep is the best thing. But I mean, what stood out to you? We're not going to go over the whole thing because it wasn't too much there. But what stood out to you? Like, what did you walk away from the state of play with?
Okay, so I woke up and I was like, oh, I knew Stellar Blade was gonna be there, right? Because I think they said there was gonna be there or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So I actually really wanted to see the trailer for Stellar Blade because I kind of like what I saw from the first trailer, the story trailer, like last year or whatever. The world looks intriguing. Gameplay looks great. It looks a lot like Nier Automata or Nier Replicant, which is a game that I really enjoy. And the game is, being developed by Shift Up. So I've been playing their gacha game Nikke for like the last year. So, I'm just curious to see what this gacha developer can do when they're like not making a gacha game, right? So
And funded. I mean, like, I think
yeah,
before we, honestly, last time we saw the game when it was just kind of like Project Eve, and
yeah,
then it became Stellar Blade. I think
yeah.
both of the trailers look great, but this one just looked like, I don't know, maybe Sony budget, something stepped in, because this is only coming out on PlayStation 5. Like,
PS5, yeah.
not a PC release that we know of. Maybe afterwards, like a year or something. But
Maybe something like that, yeah.
it looks really, really polished.
Yeah, it looks really good. I think the world looks like interesting to me. It seems at first glance, I haven't played the game obviously. It's kind of near-ish, It's like a
near,
humanity
yeah.
is faced with some kind of threat.
Mm-hmm.
And from the looks of the world, humanity's not doing so great.
It's already
Yeah. So I mean, it's a pretty familiar setting that a lot of games kind of draw on. So I mean, it's a little derivative, sure, but I mean, it works. It works, right? So
it's kind of interesting because
yeah,
we did have like the Power World discussion, right? But when you see this game, I mean, Near Automata, like Near really comes to your mind, right? There's the little floating
yeah. You have
thing.
a robot, I guess. Yeah.
There's a
No, like
character towards the end of the trailer who look. I mean, they don't look like A2. Did I get the name right? I hope I said that right.
yeah, A2. So like
They,
another
they
like
have
a
a long
rival.
sword.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And I was like, oh, okay. But it definitely, it has its own take on it. And honestly, like, there's a whole discussion that's to be had about like, ain't nothing wrong with being compared to something awesome. Like, shoot, man, compare
I
me
mean,
to something
it's
good
pretty
than
obvious.
bad.
I think it.
Jeez.
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear that they're pretty inspired by Nier, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean,
Exactly.
yeah, even in their like gacha game Nikke, like there's a lot of inspirations, not just from Nier, but from a lot of games as well. They had actually a Nier collab last year, so legitimately, I have A2 and 2B in Nier, like sorry, in Nikke. But I have them in my unit. So yeah,
It's,
a lot of crossover there, like
I
in
mean,
terms of themes and stuff.
to me, what I thought was really interesting and really cool was, like you said, they worked on. I went to the website today. I was just really curious because I knew that they had done, Nikkei, but what I didn't know is that they had also done that Destiny's. Is it
Oh,
Destiny's?
Destiny's Child, yeah.
Yeah, it's, we can't say the actual group Destiny Childs, or whatever that thing is.
It's called
Anyways,
Destiny Child, right? Yeah,
yeah,
not plural.
Destiny
Yeah,
Child. Yeah,
yeah. That game never came out in English, right? It was Japan and
I don't
Korea
think so.
only.
I think it's just Japan and Korea. So
Yeah,
I
so
looked at
most people
that.
won't know what the fuck we're talking about. Yeah, the mobile game from like 10 years ago called Destiny Child.
And I looked at it and I was like, wait a minute, is this the art looked really familiar. I was like, oh, was that the
Mm.
dude that did the art for like Magna Carta? That was like,
Yes, yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah,
Yep. Yeah,
yep.
it is. Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, that's him. Okay, so he's a part of the studio, I guess, or maybe back then.
Or
So
maybe just like hired him to do the art for it. Yeah, I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah. So they actually have their studios named. It's first studio is like Child. It's like first Child, second Eve, third
Hmm.
Nikkei, I think is what it's called. Like their each
Yeah,
individual location. But yeah, this game, I was just impressed because the character designs in those games are amazing. And they carry over into this game. Like, she had an outfit every scene, bro.
yeah. I like how they
Every
showed off in the
scene.
trailer that she had different outfits. So basically, they're kind of telling people that like, hey, customize your character. You put whatever outfit you want. You can fight in heels. Yeah,
And they
but
look good too,
yeah,
dog. I've never
very
had a
good.
game. I'm
Yeah.
like, like someone's like, stop the thirst. Don't. It's okay, man. Just calm
Yeah, I mean,
down.
people on Reddit are calling it stellar booty, and I'm like, sure, that's fine. I mean, you're not wrong.
You're not wrong. Well, I
You're
mean,
not
like,
wrong.
it's kind of
Yeah,
interesting because she's not, the gameplay wise, it is very much like a Nier Automata, Bayonetta, Platinum style, that sort of thing. But
yeah,
she's kind of a reserved character. Like 2B is very much like a robot, right? She's about the mission. She's about what she's gonna do until you get later on into the game, and like things start to question, all that stuff. And then you have Bayonetta, who's like, "Fuck, man,
yeah. I like Bayonetta. She's funny.
I'm
Yeah,
I'm sexy and I know it. Let me just
yeah.
show it."
She's the dommy mommy
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah,
and this girl's like in between. Like, I feel like
yep.
she's not one way or the other, but she feels a little bit human like, right? I don't actually know if she is a robot, right? Is she a cyborg or is
I don't
she?
know. I think she's human actually. I haven't played the game, but I think she's human.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, they got a release date which is April 26th, I
Yep.
believe, and of this year. And I gotta say, yeah, I'm totally looking forward to it,
Yeah,
100%.
I'm gonna play this for sure. Yeah, yeah. I thought I was gonna play the game in Korean, to be honest, because it's a Korean studio and like the characters are very Korean looking, very Korean. I mean, they're Korean, right?
They're Korean, yeah.
So I was like, oh, I'm gonna play the game in Korean, in the same way that a lot of people play Japanese games in Japanese. But then I heard the English dub in the trailer, and I was like, yeah, I kind of like that actually. I kind of like the English dub because it's like
You
British
like
accents.
the British accent?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
is it with the British? So we had the same thing in Xenoblade
And Xenoblade, yeah,
3. Yeah,
yeah.
we pointed
Well,
that out
Xenoblade
last week.
1 and 3 actually, yeah.
Or yeah, maybe it's just an easier accent to understand or something. Like, is there a
I
class
don't
that's
know.
brought to it?
Oh,
Like,
and also FF16 as well, right? So
yeah, the whole yes,
yeah, so I don't know. I to me at least, I there's so many games with English accents, right? Like
yeah.
sorry, not English accents, American accents, like American English accents.
Mm-hmm.
Like so many games that just use American English. So in a weird way, like hearing non-American accent is refreshing, you know? It's like, oh, it's novel. I kind of like that. So
It's different, and I have no clue if it fits the world or not because it's like, I mean,
it doesn't
humanity is.
look, but who knows? Whatever. I might give it a try. Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna play in Korean, and then I heard the dub, and I was like, ooh, that's intriguing. I'll try that out. So
So I can't wait for like a little bit more information about the game. They didn't tell us too much about the systems. We just know it. Hey, you can upgrade your skills. There
yeah,
are
there's
new
upgrades, and I
outfits.
think from what they've seen in the trailer, there's a parry because you can see her do a parry at one point. So I'm like, oh, it's
Yeah.
like kind of Meta Rising kind of thing, and obviously there's a dodge. She does a ton of dodges right in the game, so I'm
Hmm.
expecting it to be kind of like kind of like Meta Rising, but you know.
Yeah, yeah. And I guess like one other thing that before we kind of move on is the music was,
Yeah, that was good.
man, I don't know who's doing it, but it's good. It's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
nice. I'm enjoying I enjoyed the music, so it might be like a soundtrack. Like honestly, it's been a great year for kind of these Korean games. I don't think we've had too many, but between this and Lies of P within 6 months of each other,
Yep.
um, that's like some really, really, really quality content. So
It's also insane that like the game looks so polished, and up until now they've only done gotcha
Sony
games like mobile games.
Sony Bucks. I don't know. Like
Yeah.
this is what's interesting is this is the complete opposite direction of not am I thinking of Genshin?
Like the
No.
studio?
I lost my thought because I was thinking like there was another studio that kind of was a mobile game studio, but also tried to do like a bigger game. I'm thinking it was probably Genshin. It was probably Genshin, which isn't an opposite direction, but
I mean, that's
um,
still gotcha. They've never done like a
yeah, they've never done another game before that,
yeah. They just
right?
made better and better gotcha games. They started with like Honkai Second Impact, Honkai
That's
Third
right.
Impact, and then Third Impact is still it's very gotcha. Like when you start the game up, you have this typical gotcha menu where you have like a bunch of shit to click on, like in the screen, and then you dive into missions. But Genshin is very much kind of open world, but very gotcha, right?
Yeah, it still had. I remember the menu and everything. It's like, oh, I should be playing
Yeah.
this on my phone actually.
And then there's like Star Rail, it's turn-based RPG, but still, and then now they're gonna do Zenless Zone Zero. So like MiHoYo, I like seeing Stellar Blade, the trailer and stuff, seeing Shift Up start to make this kind of thing,
Yeah,
makes me wish MiHoYo would just do that because the worlds that they make are great, the characters look good, combat systems are pretty functional, they're competent and sometimes fun, right?
yeah, yeah.
So I just want MiHoYo to make like a friggin' AAA like offline single player story game, but they pull in so much
Much
money.
money. They don't
Like we're
even.
talking like hundreds of millions, like so much money from Gotcha that they have zero incentive as a business. They
That's a
have
business.
zero
Yeah,
incentive. Yeah. They have no incentive. The only way they would is like they had a creative drive. There was a team inside MiHoYo that was like, we want to make a game. We want to do this regardless of how much money it's going to make us. But if we're talking strictly from business point of view, there's no reason they have to do it, right? So
Yeah, there's no reason, but it would be nice to see them kind of like step it up again to like what that next level of what they think what it would be, you know? Just like this is just nice, and I'm glad we're gonna be getting it sooner than later in the year. So,
Yeah.
Stellar Blade, good stuff.
Yeah.
Sonic, you're a resident Sonic
Oh yeah, I
fan.
forgot about that. Yeah, I forgot about. I saw the trailer. That was pretty good. Yeah.
Sonic and was it? Is I guess it's Sonic Shadow Generations.
Generations. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is technically because Generations already came out, right?
Yep.
Like way like years back. Not like
2011, 2012, something
12
something
or
like that. Yeah.
something, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, so this time they're adding Shadow to the game, which I guess that's we kind of forget that Shadow had his own game sometimes. It's
I
because
I
it
never
was a
forgot. I
while.
never forgot. Yeah.
Was
No.
that PS2? That was
It
PS2 when
was
Shadow had a
PS2
game.
and
Yeah.
GameCube and Xbox. It was like cross platform. Yeah.
Yeah, that junk was like he didn't even get a PS3 version. The hell was it? Or that
Yeah.
generation, he just got one.
I mean,
So
like
that
Sonic. To be fair, Sonic kind of dropped off as well. Like, because the PS3 generation Sonic game was Sonic 2006, right?
that's true. That's true.
That kind of killed the series for a little
That
bit.
very much did. Kissing humans and that was
I hope they make a remake of 2006, and they're like, let's try this again, and then they just double down on the kissing scene. They like it's like twice as long.
double down on it and then just say like, oh,
Yeah,
you know what we should do is that we should just put it in the Frontiers treatment.
yeah, like the kid,
Open
the,
world
the
with
kissing scene is gonna be like on the box on the cover. Yeah.
oh man, but
No,
that
yeah. So
yeah.
Sonic and whatever generation. So I actually really like Sonic Generations. It is one of my favorite Sonic games.
Mhm.
Kind of growing up in the '90s, right? So I grew up on the older Sonic games, Sonic 2, Sonic 3. So they have the older 2D Sonic, classic Sonic levels and generations, just like remade, and they look great, and it's very nostalgic. It's like Chemical Plant and all those old zones that I love. And then
Those
they
little
have
nice.
like 3D Sonic, so they have like good levels from Adventure and Adventure 2. Again, games that I enjoyed. So having them together in a game that doesn't suck, was great. So I love Generations, and I like that they're doing a remaster of it. But then they're also doing the extra Shadow stuff. I don't know if you looked at the Steam page at all, but if you go to the Steam page for this game, even though it's like supposed to be a remaster of Generations,
Mhm.
it's like all about Shadow. The only mention of like, oh, it's a remaster is like the last line of the script. I'm not even kidding. Like, go up to Steam right now, type in like, go look at the store page. The first two paragraphs are about the Shadow levels, and then the last line of the whole description is just like, this game is also a remaster of Sonic Generations. Go.
I mean, that is the if we do think about it, I'm opening up now. If you think about it, it makes sense that that's the headline for them because I mean,
Usually it's the other way
it's the
around though.
newest
Like,
content, right? That's
well,
the
it's
newest
it's
thing.
usually
Like,
the other way around, where it's like it's a remaster of this classic game, and we're adding like new stuff for it. Like if
so
you
it's
look at Counter Dynasty, for instance, but like this is like flipped on its end. It's like, oh, you're playing this for Shadow.
I mean, you technically did play the game before. I guess it depends on who you're talking to, right? If you're talking to like people who've already played it, I assume that that's like Shadow is the big thing, and maybe that's who they're kind of maybe that's who they're marketing towards. Like,
I mean, it depends on how much Shadow. I mean, like he's in the fucking title, so probably there's a
but yeah,
lot of Shadow
it
in
does
there.
start
Yeah,
out with just saying like about this game.
it
Shadow
just
the
flips Shadow the
Hedgehog is back
Hedgehog. Like,
and
whoa,
teaming up with
what?
classic and modern Sonic and Sonic Cross Shadow Generations.
Generation, yeah.
An all-new collection featuring 2 unique experiences. Play as Shadow the Hedgehog. Yeah, I mean, they really are marketing that fact, like you said, in a brand new story campaign featuring you know what? It strikes me as like if they could have done DLC back then, this would have been the DLC.
They did do DLC for Generations. It was like one zone. That's it.
When Shadow's old nemesis Black Doom reemerges and threatens
Yeah.
to take over the world, Shadow must journey into his own past, confront painful memories. Dang, face
I
similar.
feel like someone at Sega like wanted to remaster Shadow the Hedgehog, like the game Shadow the Hedgehog.
And this is their way of doing it.
But then they're just like, oh shit, no one liked that. Like it's too like no one's gonna buy Shadow the Hedgehog remaster. Why don't we just put it in Generations? People
it-
love Generations.
It really is like, you know what? That would have been kind of interesting if Generations just continue to be a DLC like platform. Like you get this and then you get maybe something else remade or like an extra story. It becomes like a platform for them to tell or retell stories. That would have been honestly, that'd been kind of interesting. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I don't know if that makes sense from a business standpoint because this
Well, I mean, like
came
after
out
Shadow the
years
Hedgehog, the
ago.
only thing that they could remake would be like the weird Wii games, like Black Knight and
Exactly. Go ahead and do them right.
what's the
Then
other
do oh
one?
06. Then do oh 06 right.
I
Everything can
want
be
like a
done in
full on. I like just want a
everything.
standalone 2006. I mean, it's not a bad game. I mean, it is a bad game, but like
Oh,
it has like
this
a good
Lair's not a bad
you,
game.
you can tell like they tried to make a good game. It's got a decent foundation, but like everything about it was like so shitty. It's like it was like held by popsicle sticks. Like it had a really good
Look, no
like
one sets
storyboard,
out
but
to
then
make a bad game, I hope, right?
well, that's true. Yeah, like no one wants to make a bad game. You never played '06, right? You never did.
I just played the demo. That was enough.
Yeah,
I didn't have
okay.
enough, I didn't have a job, so it was just like, oh, this is
Like,
Sonic.
I want to
That
play
was,
free shit. Like the demo is what I got.
dude,
It's like when you were a
like when
kid, you
you,
play. Yeah.
yeah, when you go to the mall or the store, Walmart, whatever, and
And
they just have the demo disc up there, and you're like, oh, it's time to go to the game section where my mom shops.
I used to like up until like my mid-20s, I would do that. Like, I go to like a electronics like Yodobashi or something, right? In Japan, I'd be like, when it's on the fucking console, and I just play, yeah. So,
Oh.
no, yeah, I don't know. '06 is, I don't know. Anyways, I feel like '06 deserves a second chance, and sure, if you want to remove the kissing, then take it out. But like, it
Maybe they
had good
will.
ideas.
Look,
Yeah.
everything's being remade these days, or whatever you want to like remastered, whatever. So there's honestly a good that they can do it, and I don't think anyone would fault them for it.
It depends on what the roadmap for Sonic even is. Because last or 2 years ago we had Frontiers, which is like pretty good, right?
Which is good. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
And people are like, oh, this is Sonic. Sonic's back. Like, look, Sonic's like doing good shit again. But then there's that Sonic curse. You know what I mean? Like, it's a good Sonic, bad Sonic, good Sonic, bad Sonic.
Yeah,
And
I
like
mean,
so far, that's unbroken actually. Because before Frontiers was Forces, which generally people didn't like.
did not like. Yeah,
But then before Forces was Generations, which people did like.
Did like.
So like, what the fuck?
Wait, where was Colors at? Colors was.
Oh, good questions. Colors Colors on the good?
It was on Wii, and it was.
Yeah.
I think it was like it was all right. There were like good points, and there was like it was all right kind of thing. Is what I remember.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But then there's also like Sonic. What was the one? Sonic, the like the 2D one. Origins.
Oh, Origins. Yeah, yeah.
People
was last year, right?
Or well, no, like they had a version last year, but they had.
But that was the bad version.
I know. People liked Origins.
What was the one last? What the heck was the one last year that was kind of messed up?
Mania. I think of Mania. Sorry, Mania.
Mania. Okay, it was Mania.
Was good. People like Mania.
Yeah, and then Origins last year was the one that was kind of lukewarm.
Right, that's it.
Yeah.
But Origins looked like Mania though, so why? Like
something with the development process went something. They couldn't get the songs. Remember, like the soundtrack, there were some issues with some of the songs they couldn't get the licenses for. So
wait, is that oh no, yeah, Origins was like just a collection then.
It was just a collection.
Oh, that one doesn't count. I'm not yeah, sorry, that one doesn't count because I'm thinking like actual like games like new ones at the time. So
but yeah, so
no, I'm thinking of there was one that came out at the end of last year. Superstars, that's it.
Superstar. Oh gosh.
Superstars, that was it. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Superstars was like, eh.
The 2D Sonics, they either hit you with like this is amazing, or they just
yeah.
It's one of the two.
Shit, that was so. I was like, I knew there was a Sonic game that came out last year. Like, whoa, Superstars. Took me forever to remember.
Oh, my goodness. Well, moving on. We talked a little bit about Zenless Zone Zero and different parts. There's not much other than that. There's still not a release date for the game.
Yeah, I mean they're promoting the fuck out of it. Like they had a booth at TGS and they had like another booth at the Taiwanese game show that was like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
They're just like, yeah, it's got to be coming out soon. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the end of within this year
or within this year. Yeah. After that was Foamstars. Are you interested in Foamstars any?
Yeah, sure. Why not? It's free to play, right?
Yeah. If you have PS Plus, it's free to play. It's the Splatoon.
It was exclusive to PS5, right?
PS4? Is it PS4, PS5, or just PS5 only?
I'm not sure. Anyway, it's exclusive to Sony, and it's an online game, so you have to be on Plus to play it, anyways. It kind of makes sense that it's just free to. Is it? I mean, do you need Plus? I gotta look this up.
No, you need. Oh wait, do you? I think it says it in the trailer at the end. I think you do.
Yeah, you don't need Plus for it.
You don't need Plus. It's a free to play, so you're not supposed to.
Yeah, I know they're not supposed. Like free to play games don't like
require the online.
yeah, or
Yeah.
don't require plus. Yeah. No, I'm on the Japanese store right now. It says online play need PS Plus to hisu, so you do need plus to play it
Okay.
apparently.
Okay. So this one. Good luck to them. Yeah, it is PS4, PS5.
You gonna play it? You gonna check it out? It's free
I
for.
I
I mean, wait, you don't pay for plus. Never mind, it's not free for you.
no, I think I still have Plus, but I think it's probably going to renew. No, this game comes out this week. What are we talking
It comes
about?
out like tomorrow.
Comes out
Tomorrow, dude.
tomorrow,
It
dude.
comes
This
out
game comes
tomorrow,
out
man.
tomorrow. I can just play it,
Yeah.
play this
You
on
gotta
stream
check.
Thursday. We'll check
You
this
can
junk
stream
out.
it. Yeah, yeah,
Check this. I tried the
yeah.
demo or the beta when they had it here, and I was
Oh
so
yeah.
bad, man. I was
Oh
so bad
really?
at it. I
Oh, you were bad at it.
yeah, I
Was
was.
not that it was bad. It was
No,
just
the
you were
game was
bad.
fine. I thought like,
Okay.
okay, if I were good at this, maybe it would. I cannot for the life of me.
Is it like Splatoon or
It's
what?
exactly like Splatoon in the sense
Okay.
that you are trying to cover the map with
You're trying to cover something, right?
you're trying to cover the map with as much bubbles as possible. I think some characters can go in the bubbles, not all of them. Some surf on top, some surf underneath. They have different little like, class abilities like Overwatch essentially. So uh, I was just like, do I hit the people? You want to hit the people, you want to like get the KOs, but the KOs don't lead you to victory.
Yeah,
They
you gotta
You
cover
got to
the arena.
cover, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a foam
I
stars.
mean, yeah, you can check it out. Like, you
Yeah,
might as well, right?
I'll check it out. It's free while I can.
Yeah.
Free while
I
I
don't
can.
know if I'm gonna like. What if it's like so damn good? What if you can't stop playing it? You're like, fuck, this game's awesome. Foamstars.
From what I heard from another podcast, they said that it's actually pretty. Like Splatoon players found it to be very good. So like if you're a
Okay.
Splatoon player, then or you like Splatoon, it should be pretty good for you.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'll check it out. Yeah, free, right? Like, why not?
why not? Squads of
Can't
4.
guarantee that I'll like enjoy it, but if I don't enjoy it, what have I lost? Just time, really. So,
Oh, that's it.
which you can never get back in your life, by the way.
You lose it every second.
Don't waste time. It's the one resource you'll never be able to get back.
Moving.
So thanks for spending your time listening to
with
us. Yeah, we appreciate it because you're
If you're
literally
eating
never
right
getting
now,
this time back.
This is
Yeah,
why you listen to podcasts while you eat or sleep.
yeah, you don't fucking miss out, right?
You don't miss out.
You don't waste your life.
After that, Dave the Diver collaboration with Godzilla. That was unexpected. V Rising in development for PS5. So if you're in the cozy crafting genre of mini games, that'll be coming here. Still in early access if I remember correctly. And then we have Silent Hill: The Short Message, which I'll just give like a quick spiel about this
Okay.
game.
Yeah.
It, I was really surprised by the game itself. The fact that it is, they came out and they said, hey, we've got a Silent Hill game and we've just showed a trailer for it. And they announced 3 Silent Hill projects at the same time. And when we were kind of looking at those, like one of them looked really cool and unique, kind of like this in Japan horror aspect. With beautiful imagery. The other was Silent Hill 2 remake, which they showed the trailer for that. It looks like Homeboy went to RE4 school, like he's swinging bats like Leon Kennedy. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was very combat focused, which was a little bit surprising. But the main thing is this game, which feels more like a tech demo or a demo, because I finished it in around 2.5 hours. It really depends on how you are as a person a little bit. Like as a Silent Hill fan, and I'm not a Silent Hill fan. I haven't played them deeply enough to say like this is Silent Hill. There are aspects to it that are like Silent Hill in terms of the level. When it kind of gets like, how Silent Hill always had that grainy filter to it, like a film grain filter to a lot of the games.
I haven't like played a lot of Silent Hill games.
That's the one thing I definitely remember. And there's like creepy, weird psychological stuff happening. And that stuff is very Silent Hill. But the actual thing is, at first, when you start out, you're dropped in a room almost just like PT. And I was like, oh, they did the PT.
Yeah, those fuckers.
They did not do the PT because you do loops. You do loops. You actually loop the game 3 times. But as opposed to something changing and you having to figure out a puzzle element, it's leading you down a linear story in which you're learning about this character, which the entire topic of the game is about suicide.
Okay.
She jumps off a building multiple times. And there are reasons. You find out those reasons with her friends, and Lord knows there's some serious messed up issues there. But you can't really tackle that type of stuff in 2.5 hours or less. So you run into that a little bit. So you're either gonna find this like I found it, like I was like, okay, this is actually, cool. I'm glad for a narrative experience. Or you're gonna find this either preachy or like not handled properly.
Right.
Right. Those are like the two choices. And gameplay wise, you're doing the Mr. X thing. So there's certain times where you got a big monster, it's chasing you, you just got to run. And those parts are a little tense, but I'll be interested to see how they do, if this even links to that Japanese project, because there's a lot of flower imagery, sakuras, cherry blossoms in this.
Mm-hmm.
It's not set in Japan, it's set in Germany. But it does have to deal with like a Japanese person who moved there. And I'm curious to see what people think about the game. Like I said, demo, not really sure. It looks beautiful. It looked nice though.
Or it could be like a proof of concept kind of thing, like the way that PT was supposed to be, and then fucking Konami imploded.
Imploded. Konami imploded.
Yeah, I think most people still haven't forgiven Konami for whatever the fuck. I mean, Konami's still in a weird spot where they like make new games like Silent Hill, like recently now, but they still just rehash fucking everything, like
except for Castlevania. That's the only one that hasn't, outside of the collection they did. Like Castlevania, it's really strange because the Netflix.
Yeah. Well, then they also sold NFTs, 2 years ago for that Castlevania. So
I forgot it for the anniversary. Yeah,
they sold Castlevania. I think someone like one of the NFTs was like the intro to Castlevania, right? And then people are just like, "Why the fuck can I not just go on YouTube and
listen
view it
to this
for free?
Or view it, yeah, like that concept.
I can even save it to my hard drive. Whatever." It's a different discussion.
So yeah, that was like just a real quick spiel on Silent Hill, the short message. There we go. It's free and it did drop the same day, so I think that was kind of the whole thing. Like, oh, it dropped the same day.
Yeah. At least they're not lying, Short message.
It was short. It was a short message.
Yeah, there you go.
It was a short message. Don't jump off that building. Always talk to your peeps.
Yeah, I hope. Maybe they're trying to. Maybe someone at Konami's trying to be like, "Hey, Japanese society's kind of fucked." Like,
dude, it might as well just been. I think it actually talks about that. It does at the first message.
Just like, hey, you should. You know what they need for real? Like around Tokyo, they need to put more of a fucking suicide hotline around train station, like on the platform.
Oh, just like on the platform.
Yeah, like for real.
The amount of times we've seen the human accident related, and you're like, well, it could just be something else.
No, it's a suicide. Yeah, like a couple months ago, I think at this point, maybe 2 months ago, like the pizza place that like we go to sometimes, right?
Yeah.
At that station there was like a suicide, and I like read about it on Reddit. I'm like, oh man, that's gruesome. Like every time I go to pizza, I'm gonna be thinking about this. Like,
also it's kind of weird, but it's legit thundering outside.
Oh yeah, the weather's crazy right now. Actually,
how did we have snow before this? A little bit of rain, like rain to snow makes sense, but thunder makes no sense after this.
I think it's technically like a thunderstorm, but it's just so cold that it happens to be a snow thunderstorm, which is unique. I would say
it's very unique. I've never been privileged for.
No. Train stations here need barriers. All of them need barriers, and need a suicide hotline.
They do, and this game gives you the number at least 4 different times or 5 every time you loop.
Wait, is it the Japanese number though?
That's a good question. Like which number is it?
Yeah.
Since it's all in English, that's a good question. I don't even know the Japanese
do they?
number.
Well, I mean, if they're good at localizing, they would localize the number.
The number for each.
Yeah.
Like hopefully that
region,
was the case. Yeah. So that was Silent Hill, the short message. Very short, and depending on how you like it, good or bad. Moving on, we'll skip Judas, Metro, Awakening VR. I don't know about
Cool.
you. Do you own Metro multiple
I
times?
own, yeah, for sure. I
Yeah.
own the Metro games. Yeah, absolutely. Have I played them? No, I have
No.
not.
I've always wanted to play it, and then like I bought
No.
it once, and then
Oh, you bought it? You
yeah,
bought it,
I've
Metro?
bought it. I bought a Metro, and then every time after that, like literally every year, if you have not gotten Metro on free by now, Metro Exodus, Metro Remastered,
It's like they're all gone free. Yeah,
fudge, that
I've
game is
yeah,
free for everyone.
like someone is like handing it. I think last year the developers, the publishers were just like have Metro, like for real. It was like claim it on Steam right now. It's free. So
I've never seen a game be free as many times
it's like
as
a Metro.
Metro.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah,
do I
moving
own
on.
it? Yeah. Have I played it? Absolutely not.
This is one that you were actually interested in, Dragon's Dogma 2. What'd you
Yeah,
think about that one?
it looks great. I've actually never played Dragon's Dogma. Everyone says that it's good. And then I also hear on Reddit that it's a pain in the ass in a lot of places, and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to play that. But at least combat, because it's a combat trailer for 2, right? That we saw at State of Play. Looks fantastic. Looks very fun. The only thing that kind of is dissuading me from getting it on PS5 is apparently on console it's 30 frames. It's locked to 30 frames.
Is it actually just like straight up?
Yeah. Locked to 30. Well, that's a rumor, but like people seem to really be believing it. But apparently on console, it's 30 frames. So I would just get it on PC because screw that, right?
Like I'm so curious why it would be 30 FPS, because I understand like look, because that engine,
Like why?
yeah, like every game in that engine runs at 60 FPS.
Yeah, it's just a rumor. I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know where it started, but it's like probably some tweet or something.
Tweet. Oh man, them tweets.
Yeah, people think that the game is gonna run at 30 frames on PS5. So if true, I would just get it on PC.
The only way I would see that is if it was like what is it? It's usually what 4K 30 FPS or
4K
upscale.
30. Yeah.
Yeah, that's usually the kind of condition for there. But they always have a performance mode versus a graphics mode. Like I don't know why they wouldn't just have both of those. It'll be interesting. I mean, there's the dual class systems. I like how in the trailer there was the guy he like
you can switch on the fly.
Yeah, the mage like does the ice thing and then runs up his own ice shard and like jumps off of it and then just like slams down.
Yeah, so you get, like on the fly weapon switching looks really good. So
I was talking to a friend and I thought the game was multiplayer, but it's not.
Oh, I mean it has
like
some
the
kind
pawns.
of the pawn system. It's not really multiplayer, but yeah, it has the pawn system. Ooh, that is thunder. Holy shit. Yeah. Wow.
I told you, like this is the weirdest.
That's pretty thundery. Yeah.
It's like ominous, like thunder in the snowstorm. I want to go outside and see if it's actually snowing.
Like take a look. It's still snowing. It was still snowing this evening. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I think,
dude, it built up. Like it's on the ground. It's just
it's on the ground.
Yeah, good thing. Hopefully, you don't have to like take the train tomorrow or anything, because train's probably gonna be
trains are gonna be messed up.
Yeah, because Tokyo doesn't know what to do with snow.
And California's flooding.
Yeah,
wow. No, literally, there's floods in California right now.
I'm not surprised. Yeah.
I don't know. Did you think anything about Rise of Ronin? Anything stand out?
Looks good. Looks good. I'm probably not gonna play it, but that doesn't mean it's not a good game. There's so many games coming out that I got to pick and choose. Yeah. And that kind of game, while it looks great, it's not typically the kind of game that I would play. Like if the schedule is completely open and I get it maybe on a discount or for free, then I'll try. Like I played Neo for a bit, but I didn't really play too much of it. Right?
Yeah. I mean, this one's open world, so that's one thing they did.
Exclusive, right? It's PS5 exclusive.
Yeah, PS5 exclusive, at least for now, and you don't have to worry about the PC version running like crap. If that's a thing.
I mean, Team Ninja makes good games. The last Team Ninja game that I played was Stranger Paradise, which is actually pretty good. But
the combat's always solid. I played Wolong last year, and that was freaking a blast. But the whole issue with their games, that it's like the story is just what is happening in the story half the time.
Oh yeah, I mean that's
like, what is happening. It's like whatever level. It's
like whatever. You know who cares really? But yeah, this comes out March apparently. That's soon.
No,
that's hella
this
soon.
Comes out. This is what I don't understand.
It's like next month. Next month, man.
This game comes out the exact same day as Dragon's Dogma 2.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough call for a lot of people.
March 22nd. I don't think it's a tough call. I think people are playing Dragon's Dogma 2, and this game is gonna be out.
And not Rise of Ronin.
because they're all if you're in Japan, they're like $90. But I
Oh
mean,
yeah, yeah,
it's
9,000
hard.
yen.
You got to make a choice, and I just don't see people, especially with this being PS5 exclusive, picking it up day one in mass droves. Unless they can make some buzz. But it looks like they've kind of put everything that they've learned from Neo and Wulong and Strangers of Paradise, all that stuff into one open world. All those weird weapon things, the
Hmm.
randomized stat stuff, that's gone. No more horrible item inventory management.
Yeah, yeah,
So
fucking those games can be like you pick up like
it's a
25
chore. Yeah.
25 swords and you're like, all right, which one is the best one? Like when I play Stranger of Paradise, which is like auto equip, auto equip.
Auto equip, yeah.
I'm not even gonna look at this shit anymore. Like I'm just
Like
yeah.
they have stats and you don't care about the stats.
Yeah,
That's
so
the
give me
fucking
the one with the higher numbers. Yeah.
Um. So, anyways, that's happening, and that's coming out, like you said, March 22nd. Until Dawn getting a remaster, or remake remaster. I'm not really sure.
I think it's a remaster. Yeah, I
I
don't know.
think yeah, it's. I was like, okay, cool. But then at the very end, of course, Death Stranding 2 with the trailer and some news from Kojima, who's going to be working on a tactical stealth espionage game, taking him
Yep.
back to his roots
I
after
hope
Death
it's good.
Stranding is
Yeah.
finished. Yeah, Death Stranding. Holy crap! This is the one thing. I'm not gonna lie. I
Hmm.
love Kojima trailers.
Yeah, they're good.
Like,
He knows how to
holy,
make a good trailer. Yeah.
like, WTF? There was just like some great moments in here. There was also some like WTF moments, as you know, but you know, it's just one of those things where you can just like you really do sit down and listen, and you don't do. I don't do that often in games. Last of Us was one of those games for me where you listen to like what's being said. You want to know, even if you
Hmm.
don't intend on playing it, kind of thing. Um, but yeah, it looks like a even bigger world, different environments that are coming out. We did get the full title, Death Stranding 2 on the beach. I don't know if he was drinking something, drinking sex on the beach at that
Yeah, I
moment
don't
or
know,
what.
but yeah, that's like whatever Kojima. Yeah.
um, and yeah, I mean the man is rolling. I think he's probably the best success story of a Japanese person who's
Gone like indie, right?
gone indie. Yeah, he's got
Yeah.
Death Stranding. He's got the thing with Microsoft, and then he's got a thing with Sony right after this.
Hmm.
And both of those are like multimedia things. They're not just games, but games, movies, music, probably some fashion stuff. He's kind of running the gambit here.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I thought the trailer looked really good, and I'm like, maybe I'll play one. I own it. I know you played it for like
A
10
little bit, yeah.
hours or something. And
A
like
little
when
bit.
it released, I remember
Oh yeah, I didn't play too much of it.
before we realized it was so much of a like I wonder if it's still going to be as much of a walking simulator. I mean, there's a message in the trailer that says like robots can
Hmm.
deliver packages. Humans don't need to. So maybe
Hmm.
you don't have to do as much of that anymore. As much.
Yeah. I don't know. Like we'll see. I mean, like if it's still a Death Stranding game though, so I mean, I don't think they would abandon the core gameplay loop of Death Stranding, right? Otherwise, a sequel because it's a numbered sequel, not like a different.
A different.
I don't know, like yeah, it has two in the name, so I feel like they would keep the core gameplay loop from the first game.
No, that makes sense. And of course, it's the last game, so I don't think there's a 3. The way it's kind of sounds anyways, there's not going to be a Death Stranding 3. That this should finish up the whole story. And
Hmm.
but yeah, this is no date. I don't think there was a date released on this, but it was yeah, it's on the way. Probably maybe the end of this year. Oh no, it's 2025. That's right. Sometime in 2025. Yeah. That
Okay,
was that was it.
like next year then sometime.
Sometime next year. And that's pretty much it. So I don't know if you have anything else for the state of play or any other thoughts you want to wrap up on it.
Not really. I honestly only like really watched Starblade and Dragon's Dogma and a little bit of Rise of Ronin. So, yeah, it looks fine. We're actually gonna get another state of play sometime this week or something, or next week
Wednesday.
or yeah,
Wednesday for
which is
us, Tuesday
supposed to
for
be. Yeah, it's
Everyone
just
else.
focused on FF7 entirely. So we got probably a
That game,
trailer, maybe a demo.
that game has had more like I can't tell if they've talked about FF7 Rebirth more than they did Remake, like, or
Oh
shown it
yeah.
more time. Like it just seems like every other month you get news
Mm.
or like, and it's not like small news. It's like in depth, but it's not spoilery. You know what I mean? Like they're
Yeah.
doing
Well,
a
as
good
far as
job
we
of,
know, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So but yeah, probably a demo. We had a demo for Remake as well, so it makes sense. End of this month.
I think there's a rumor that like there's gonna be a demo next week, or yeah, whenever the state of play is, and then by clearing the demo, you can, yeah, you'll get a bonus for the full game when it comes out.
So I think that's what they did in. I think we got a bonus in Remake, right? For the demo,
Probably,
if you
yeah.
played it. It's been.
You also get a bonus for transferring over your save file from Remake, and you get a bonus from transferring over your save file from the Yuffie DLC. So
See,
if
that's
you have, yeah, all that, you'll get just a bunch of bonuses and stuff.
see,
So,
that's why I didn't want to buy it on PC because my
oh,
data
because you
is
want to
on
transfer your save data,
PlayStation.
yeah. Did you buy the
No, I
DLC, or
still
did you?
haven't. I still haven't bought it. It's $20.
It's
Not.
20 bucks right now.
It's so cheap. It's so cheap.
Just
Even on sale, it's $15. There's too many
yeah,
games coming out. Like
yeah,
or out. Jeez. I've been
yeah,
watching more Tekken, and I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna
yeah. It was
buy
good
it,
too.
but fudge, it's so good. Tekken is so good.
Mm.
But I will be. I think I'll try to break the bank for Granblue. Ah, dog.
Oh yeah, it's like 6,000, 7,000.
It's 8,000.
Okay, it's probably
8,700.
cheaper.
It's cheaper in
Oh, I was
USD.
gonna say it's cheaper if you bought on Amazon, but you don't have a disk drive, so
No, yeah, I don't have a disk
your
drive.
your
I
hands
can't.
are tied, buddy. You gotta go digital.
I made my bed and now I'm lying in it.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. Like, so I have a disk drive in my console, right?
Yeah.
It's already paid for itself just because I bought like 2 used games, and
Hmm.
the money that I saved just like paid for the drive already.
It honestly like, but I don't have the space. Like I'm looking at it, like it fits exactly in between my monitor and my desktop,
Oh,
like the
that's where you're
tower.
putting it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and it's like if I had the drive, it would not fit at
yeah,
all. So it's
yeah.
I'm like, okay, you know what? I buy all my stuff digitally anyways because I don't have a place to put it anymore.
Uh-huh.
Um, so I don't regret it. It does stink
You don't
about used
regret it
games.
too much. You just
Yeah,
because
typically for moments like this, I just buy it on the US store.
yeah, where it's like
But
the conversion rate's a little better for you. Yeah.
yeah, but all the friends, like at least the people we know who are playing this, you got it on PC too, right?
No, I have PS5.
Dang, there's no crossplay for the game.
No, well, there is PS4, PS5, but
Yeah, but
all the people
for
that I
like
want to play with,
PC,
the people
yeah,
that I want to play with are on PC. Yeah, so
yeah, that's like the like I hope they patch that in because that's so
I don't think they
fudge.
would. I don't think they would. I might just buy the game again, like on a Steam sale, like later this year. Like it'll
Yeah,
get, yeah, I might just buy the, which is a pain in the ass, by the way, because I don't want to fuck. I'm the idea of having to grind all my shit back. I'm like, oh no, like. Anyways, yeah, but I might do
it,
it to play with people if people are still playing it. But
yeah. I mean, so we'll like kind of wrap up on this, but what are your thoughts? I mean, you finished the game. What are your opinions that you've done the single player at least?
yeah, so it's really short. It's just like 10 hours. So if you are gonna buy Granblue just for the story, definitely wait for a sale. It's not a very long game, and the story is fine. I guess the story it makes it very, very apparent that Relink is a game that takes place in the middle of an ongoing story, because it's like it's a gotcha game, right? It's a mobile game that's still doing service in Japan right now. And like when the story starts out, you have a party, you have a bunch of people already. I don't know who the fuck any of these people are. I don't know my relation to these people. I don't know why I should be caring about these people. And it's like, we are on our way to this area. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that is. Like we left this area. I'm like, I don't know what that is. So yeah, it's very apparent that it's just it's a chapter kind of in the middle of a story. It's kind of like watching an anime movie without
Mhm.
having seen
What
any
the
of
heck?
the anime.
But that
Yeah.
was that I made a like a video on this, and I was like, I'm kind of excited for this game because I feel like it's gonna tell me the story of Granblue from the
It will not.
beginning.
It absolutely will not. No, it
Does
will
that
just.
mean I need to go play the fighting game? Do I need to play Rising for the story? Like, what has the story from the beginning?
I think you're just. I think the mobile game. I think you're gonna have to read a wiki. I think you just have to admit that you're gonna start playing
Oh my
Relink, and
gosh.
you're not gonna understand really the world.
Maybe
Yeah.
the animation.
Oh, maybe the animation. Maybe the animation.
Maybe
The
the
anime. Yeah.
animation.
Yeah. But the best thing, like the way that I felt, yeah, it's like I sat down and I watched like a movie for like I went to the theater and I watched like the Jujutsu Kaisen movie without
Oh
having watched
gosh, that is
any of Jujutsu. That's how I
fudge.
felt. Yeah, because I was like,
Like a
yeah,
character, like, oh, this is Gran, and this is that one person I think I remember seeing like from
yeah.
something
I'm
else.
like,
But
I recognize. I don't know their motivations. I don't know their backstory. So the game tries to fill you in a little bit on the backstory of these characters, kind of, where when you recruit them, you go to the quest counter and you'll get like snippets, like text, and with voiceover of just like kind of the character a little bit to introduce you a little to the character. But yeah, the story's super short, and it's fine. It's an okay story, but I would, like I said, like wait for a sale if you're just going to do the story. The real game is basically the loot grind part of it, which fully starts when the story is finished. So when you're doing the story, you have like your standard party who show up in all the cutscenes. It's not really like dynamic in the characters that you are your real party. Like it's just pre-rendered cutscenes with like the generic party, right?
right.
So you get those characters at first, and a couple times throughout the story, you know, a thing called a crewmate card, which lets you, sorry, like draw a character, like pick a character, basically, right? So you'll get to add like 3 or 4 characters extra through the story. And that's it. You won't be able to unlock all the characters. Once you're done the 10-hour story, the systems really fully open up. The crafting system opens up. The upgrade system opens up. You get way more quests. You get a bunch more crewmate cards that add more characters to your party. You get more sigils, which kind of are like accessories, like in a typical JRPG that boost your stats. And yeah, that's it. That's where the game actually starts. You got to do quests to get materials to make new weapons. Then you get more materials to upgrade those weapons, and you repeat until you're done, until you're tired of the game. So
it's basically like the demo. You really have to like play story to then play. I mean, in the demo, you could do the opposite. I mean, you could choose which mode,
yep.
but the fact that it's kind of locked behind the story, and at least the story's short, like you said. I mean,
You still get part of it. You get like a light version. You get a teaser. So in the story, while you're doing the story, rather, you will be able to craft 2 additional weapons.
Oh,
Like they
okay.
just show up. They show up at the blacksmith, and you can craft them. You can upgrade them to like
and then
to a cap. You have to break the cap a bunch of times. If you ever played a mobile game, you know what this is like, where you have to uncap your shit repeatedly.
Yeah.
You get to uncap your weapons twice, give or take, with the materials you get from the story.
Mm-hmm.
And you get like some crewmate cards to get a couple characters.
Okay.
And you get a bunch of quests too, like optional quests, not just story stuff. But
So
once you've done the story, the crafting system like fully opens up, where it's like, here's a bunch more weapons you can make. You can break the cap like a bunch more times. And you're like, oh, I'm gonna break the cap, and it's like, you need this thing, and I'm like, well, where do I get that thing? And it's like, from this quest. I'm like, oh no. So that's really for the Monster Hunter part of it.
Yeah. The other thing I was wondering is like, so the demo, the way that it played for at least the for like the elements, like the Monster Hunter element, where you go and attack a monster, it was just like in an arena only. Like there's no build up. You just kind of spawn there and
drop in.
Fight this thing. And I hope that they kind of expand upon that, or there are
the story.
like
The story is like, you're running through a whole area and you're doing fights, and then there's a boss fight. That's the story. When you're doing just a quest, it's a lot like, I don't know. Yeah, it's basically that. You do either a horde where you are dropped in, you have to fight a bunch of monsters until time runs out, or you protect a thing until time runs out, or you fight a boss. Those are the quests so far.
It's gonna It'll be
Um,
interesting to see how the game holds up. I've heard they have at least 3 DLCs already, or like updates coming down the line before May this year. So
yep. Yeah,
um
if you're hoping it's like Monster Hunter where you get dropped into a whole area and then you have to
yeah,
like track the monster and then you like beat the shit out of it and then it
dude,
runs away and then you track it again. There's none of that. It is basically like a 10-minute boss fight,
which I
like
can't
for
tell
the
if that's
harder. Sorry,
good
what?
or I can't tell if that's good or bad, but I
I
mean
like
it
that. I
is
prefer that.
it's I
Yeah.
mean that's true to the mobile game, right? Or any of those games like
Well, I
a
mean, like
boss has a
coming.
crap ton of HP and
Yeah,
you
I guess
fight it.
so. I mean, so like coming from like MMOs, that's kind of just like an MMO raid where you get dropped into a fight. It's like a big boss. It has like a buttload of health, and
Mhm.
you go through
But there's a
different.
lead up to the in within the raid, right? There's like it's not just I mean there's probably different
No,
types.
you get dropped into a boss fight, and then it just
Well,
starts.
there's no like, oh, go here a little bit,
No,
go.
not at all.
Okay, well,
In the story, yeah, in the story, it's like that. You got like you're like, oh, we're in like a mountain, and we have
hmm
to go like traverse, and there's tons of like walking and stuff, and there's like save points along the way. That's in the
okay,
story. But once you do
okay,
like the quest, it's just like fight this griffin. And you're like, okay. And you depart on the
interesting.
quest, and then you get dropped in. It's a big ass arena, and there's a big ass griffin to fight, and it's like a 20-minute timer. So it's a lot like if you ever played
Huh.
like an MMO raid, it's what it's like. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, coming from Destiny's raids, now I see that like it's a little bit different because Destiny has like the kind of traversal and stuff built into
That's
it.
kind of
Like
like a WoW. That's like a WoW raid
it's
then. Yeah.
okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. So they're so okay, it makes sense now. The kind of
Yeah.
different system. So
Yeah,
it'll be
that's like
pretty
a WoW
interesting.
raid where there's way more walking, let's say, where you kind of go from area to area. But
Like
like this is just like a boss fight. It's just a boss fight. Yeah.
so it'll be
Well, some of
interesting.
them are
Like I
boss
do want to
fights,
stream
but
it.
yeah.
Well,
Sorry, what?
sorry, I do want to stream like in-game stuff, but it's like, can I continue playing it for like? Because I imagine like if you keep playing it, there's gonna be some crazy cracked out stuff coming down the line, maybe, or some cool collabs. But it's like,
Oh yeah,
oh,
and
but like
like you can do
you're gated by if you haven't gotten to this yet, and
no,
then
you
like,
can do some
yeah,
insane builds too, depending on like your character, your skill loadout, your sigils, your weapon. There's a lot of uh build possible, like not a lot. I'm sure people will hit a meta like very fast, like pick this character, pick these skills, pick that
do
weapon kind
this,
of thing.
yeah,
But building up to that is like that's where your time sink is going to be because you have to get the materials to make the weapon and upgrade it and that kind of stuff. But yeah, the
okay,
boss fights are pretty fun. They're like a lot like MMO raids where they have phases. So there's like the typical attack phase where you can hit the boss like a ton of times, and
yeah,
then it hits like kind of like an enrage mode where you can't really
can't
do too
really
much
hit it,
damage to it,
yeah,
and it has like a big gigantic attack that lasts for like a minute or 2 minutes or something, and you're spending like all that time basically not getting hit, like
yeah,
you're dodging a lot of stuff on the ground, and then it'll tucker itself out, and then you go back in, and it's kind of like there's sections with DPS checks where you have to like destroy this thing before it blows up, kind of thing, right? So it's like that. It's like attack, DPS check, dodge phase, repeat until you've beat the boss, kind of thing.
okay. Well, I will definitely pick it up. I'm definitely going to pick it up and try to start it this week. I know I said that last week, but um, now at least I
Yeah.
know where I have to get it. It just kind of sucks. There's no crossplay, but like I said, if you end up buying it again and grinding to
Yeah. Sorry, you're
the
getting on
story,
PC, so you
yeah,
get a
I'm gonna.
PC,
I think because Ehead doesn't have a PS5, so
right?
Ehead's gonna grab it, and I think one of our other friends has it on PC as well. So,
Yeah. Yeah. If you're
and I
just
think
gonna
it's
do
4 players, right? At least up to 4 players.
your party is 4 players, so yeah, up
Okay,
to
okay,
four.
up to
Yeah.
4. So, um, if anything, that might be the kind of place to play it then.
Yeah, I'm curious to see like I mean yeah, if you wanted like a build like Monster Hunter style, like yeah, absolutely none of that. You just get dropped into like a hard 10-minute boss fight and then you're
Well,
done. Yeah.
then again, you can't. It's really hard to do those games on stream. But then again, like
Uh
Thursday, that's why I have it on Thursdays because it's just like multiplayer stuff. I was like,
yeah.
man, maybe I should just pick up Tekken, man, because I only play 3D fighters. Honestly, that's the only type I can
Yeah.
really play, feel comfortable with. So, damn, Tekken's so good. I just keep looking at
My
it.
tip for Granblue is like as soon as you can unlock a new character, do that and then don't play as the captain, like the main character anymore. Like
Oh yeah, because he was bad in the demo. I'm sorry, that
I
dude
mean he's
was.
not bad, he's
No,
just not
he's not
fun.
fun. He's he's very basic.
Yeah. So
And
the way the captain works is like you have to complete combos to build up what they call the art level. So by completing a full combo,
mhm,
you'll get your art level up, and then when your art level is maxed out of 4, your skills
skills.
that are on cooldown, they do more damage and
Yeah.
repeat forever, which is fine, whatever. But other characters have different like quirks to them.
Quirks.
So
Yeah.
like some of them have like timing based combos, and you have to
So
complete.
fun.
Some of them have stances, like where you have to swap stances, and
Yep.
like you build your meter. Like a lot of characters have meters of some kind, some meter that you build up, and yeah.
Yeah. Most of the other
So
characters from the demo that I did play, they're just more active. Like you have to be focused on, like you said, the stance or the parry or the timings, like all these different, just little simple things, but they keep you engaged in the fight. Similar to like how if you're playing Super Mario RPG and you have to,
yeah,
like,
the
you don't
timing
just,
thing.
yeah, the
Yeah,
timing. You don't just
yeah.
hold, have guard. You need to time it to have a better version of the guard, So
Yeah. So there's the
keep you
characters where
actively.
like it's like if you do a follow up hit with perfect timing, it'll allow you to charge up one of your other attacks faster, or you get a damage boost or something. So yeah, I would say
Okay.
like once you can get a character that you like, just play as that character. You don't need to play as the captain, the main character, but for the story, he has to be in the party for the story.
Okay. Well, it's
And
only
then
10
once you're done this,
hours.
well, but
That's
yeah, and then once you're done the
not
story, you
bad.
can take him out. Yeah.
All right. Well, that will do it for us this week. We hit a smooth hour. But where can they find you, Alex?
Yeah, I'm streaming on Twitch 2 times a week, twitch.tv/Root24. I need to pick a game for this week. I finished Ghost Trick last week, so that was fun. So I don't know, come
Sweet.
hang out. We'll play something weird.
Cool. Then you can find me on Twitch as well at Ninja Trickster, still playing Prince of Persia on Wednesdays and Fridays. Saturday and Sunday, I'm playing Catherine, and Thursdays, I guess we're playing some Foamstars this week, something multiplayer. So
Yeah.
come on out, enjoy, chill, have some fun, and of course, leave a 5-star review if you are so gracious and willing to about on the podcast. Thanks to everyone for listening as always, and we will see you next week for episode 192 of the Unknown Games podcast. Ed might actually be here too, so you might
He's
get a
like,
treat.
I thought he wasn't gonna be here today because he was like binging, because he was binging Yakuza. He's
He
like,
might
no, I'm
still
playing
be.
Yakuza.
He said he was working, but he might be working on Yakuza.
I really thought the reason was he was just like, nah, I want to play Yakuza, and he was just doing that.
Oh man! So we will catch you later, everyone. Have a good one. See you next week.
Yeah. All right. See ya.